I want to take you back, if I could, to about 1990. And I graduated, got my master's degree. My first real job was with a nonprofit organization called STRAIGHT. It was an adolescent drug treatment program just located off of Imperial and Prospect over in Yorba Linda. And I was really excited about this job. And I had a big fancy title, marketing director. That made my mom real proud of me. And so I got there and then went to the office building there, and it was beautiful. Had this big old office, and then there was another long office. I didn't know that it had been donated. You know, I thought it was all, you know, something that, you know, was part of this organization. So I walked in there and sit down with my boss, Margaret, and we talked the first day. I'm so excited. And she said, yeah, we need you to do a marketing plan. I'm your man. I'm excited about that. I'm going to do it. I said, so where's the computer? And she looked at me and she smiled and she goes, we don't have a computer. She goes, don't you have a computer? I said, yeah. She goes, bring it in. I'm like, okay. Now they didn't tell me that in college, you know. And then on Tuesday, we talked about she wanted to update the brochure. So I kind of walked up to her and I said, graphics department, you know. And again, she started laughing, you know, at me, going, you know, you got to be kidding me. We don't have a graphics department. You're the graphics department. You're the marketing guy. That was on Tuesday. This is a true story. On Friday, we had our first big staff meeting. I was really excited. I grabbed the old yellow pad and the pen. We're going to staff meeting. I'm into this thing. There was 35 people on staff that day at the beginning of that meeting. At the end of that meeting, there were 4. She laid off 31 people on my first week of the job on Friday. Because what happened was they had closed the California office and then moved it to Texas. Now, these kids are actually in treatment at this time and are going to try to move these kids from California over to Dallas, Texas. You can imagine what a nightmare that was. And clearly we left the really nice office. We went to a little one-room office on the other side of town for a while, and I worked there. And then eventually that got shut down, and I was working for my mom's bedroom at home where I was living. And you know, they never really prepared me in college for doing fundraising for your own salary, you know? That was never in the cases we were studying, you know? And there was a payroll department, and but there wasn't, you know, you want to do this, you got to do this on your own. And, you know, and I'm sharing this story with you for a reason, and I know the students have heard most of this, but I'm sharing with the clients today to let you know I know a little bit about what was kind of going on there, because I was so unprepared for that. And to have to go through from a day-to-day basis, to work with parents and the many hats you have to wear, to have compassion with parents who are going through all this, and yet still asking them for help, and still trying to do more marketing, trying to deal with this, and all these things I was trying to do to keep this organization together, and yet I felt so inadequate to the task. Because in college, everything I had done was these case studies and all these, you know, strategic and simulation games and all this kind of stuff. And it was really odd. I had a thought. And the thought was something like this. If I ever teach a class in nonprofit marketing, now I never had any idea about being a teacher, and I never taught anything in my life. But I thought that if I ever did teach a class in nonprofit marketing, those students were going to go out to the community and they would do a one-year marketing plan. They would go out and they would taste and see. They would experience what it's like to work in a nonprofit organization, because I never had that experience. And so it's kind of interesting now to look back on that. And for the last 17 years, we've been doing exactly that. This is our 17th year that we've had this banquet. The first year we actually had it, it was real small in a classroom, and it hit me when some students were doing a presentation about their projects, and I said, no, we got to do something a little bit bigger than this. We need to do this. And seriously, the last 17 years, we've been having these annual banquets, and it's just a joyful time. It's a joyful time to come here and just say thank you. And you think about the hundreds of organizations that these students have worked with over the years, that they've been able to come alongside and to give a little bit of their time, but most of all, to learn from nonprofits, to learn from them, to try to experience what you experience. There's a song that I love from Jars of Clay, and it has this line, and this is kind of the way I look at what I want my students to do. And this is from a student perspective to the client. Will you teach us how to love, to see the things you see, to walk the road you walked, to feel the pain that you feel. At your feet I kneel. I want to see you shine, to see your light, not mine. I just love that. To walk the road you walk, to feel the pain you feel, to come alongside your organization, because you can't read about it to really understand it. I mean, it can do something with you maybe mentally, maybe intellectually, but when we have to experience it. We have to experience compassion. And I think there was any one theme that I would have for this semester with this great group of students would be this idea of experiencing compassion. To actually, because that just takes time. You can't do it. You have to walk in it. You have to see it. They have to come alongside you. They have to taste and see and smell and volunteer and get involved. One of our goals was to be different from any other school or any other project that you might have worked with in the past. And we are pretty intentional about that. And the idea that, we've heard of many schools with good intentions, not being disrespectful, but they come by and do quote-unquote drive-bys. They come by and want to help out a little bit, get their grade, and kind of move on. We want to be intentionally different. We want the student to come alongside you, to work with you, to see what you're doing, to volunteer, to experience it. And then when the students come back to class, they talked about that. They talk about the different experiences they've had, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's awesome to hear. I got to see this, I got to see that, and there's no way I wouldn't have been able to do that. See, these kids every one of these students are really smart, and all of you think you got the smartest one, I know. But you all look at what they did. And every one of them could have knocked out that marketing plan probably in about the first month. They really could have. They had the abilities to do it. But they would never have, without experiencing compassion, and wouldn't have had the joy and the value that it actually has, because they got to participate. They got to see what you all do. And so I just want to thank you. I just want to honor you for being the kind of people, and my students have heard this a lot, so forgive me, but just, I'm not forgiving. I mean, just, you've heard this before, so hear it again. There's two kinds of people. Those that drive by and see a problem and say, gosh, I hope someone takes care of that. And then there's the people that are in this room right now, you all, who drive by, see a problem, pull the car over, get out of the car, and say, what can I do to fix this? What can I do to be a part of this? And that's who you people are. You people are people of compassion, who have experienced compassion, and that's contagious. And we get a little bit of that just from being around you. So thank you. You are a gift, and I pray that you would just enjoy tonight as we kind of share a little bit more about what we're doing.
Biola University offers a variety of biblically centered degree programs, ranging from business to ministry to the arts and sciences. Visit biola.edu to find out how Biola could make a difference in your life.